good with you guys? It's Jibril, and I'm going to explain why white people act the way they act, what exactly they have, and its causation. Now, what they have isn't exclusive to any sort of race or gender. However, I'm going to explain why every white person has this one thing they don't want you to know about. But first, let's understand why they act the way they act. Now, it all stems from the Ice Age, where it was extremely arduous for people mainly living in the Western Hemisphere and Europe to survive the Ice Age due to how harsh their environment was. The only continents that were sustainable to life was Africa and South America, due to it being closer to the equator where it was warmer. However, for people living in Europe and the Western Hemisphere during the Ice Age, it was bleak, difficult for them to find food and resources for themselves, and greenery was scant. They had to compete against other species, including the Neanderthals, who they are actually related to, for the limited amount of food and resources available for them. And if they couldn't find any food for themselves, then they would engage in cannibalism, which was a common practice for them back then. They couldn't afford to share the little they had and had to become callous, malicious, and ruthless in order for them to survive. And they couldn't fully trust one another, as they would murder each other and purloin from one another. Natural selection during the Ice Age in Europe and the Western Hemisphere favored the most callous and brutal, and as a result of the Ice Age, it has traumatized them, formed them to become brutal, heartless, and dishonest, and has had them pass down such traits which has helped them conquer the world. So what does every white person have exactly? Every white person has narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD for short. But what is narcissistic personality disorder? Well, according to Cleveland Clinic, NPD is a mental health condition that affects a person's sense of self-esteem, identity, and how they treat themselves and others. Now, it's believed that the main contributors to narcissistic personality disorder are genetics, observation and imitation, negative childhood experiences, parenting styles and culture. And the proof is within their own culture, in which they believe in individualism, which is based on placing the importance and attention on an individual, and how it has been proven that every white person is racist, and racism is linked with narcissism. They believe that everybody should worship them and their whiteness, constantly seeking adulation, and despises anybody that challenges their own thoughts and beliefs. They also relish chaos, because deep down they are miserable people that can't accept and aren't content with who they are. How they treat others is simply how they project how they feel. So when people are highly narcissistic in general, treat someone badly, it's because they feel bad about themselves. They want everybody to become narcissistic and prefer hanging out with people that will allow them to act the way they act and feel the way they feel, even if it's wrong. Now, can people with NPD ever change? Of course they can, but it's up to them on whether or not they want to change. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, peace, and take care of yourselves. I'm out.